Ready? Yes. Good afternoon and Happy New Year. I would like to call this reorganization meeting of Lawrence Township Council to order. Adequate notice of this reorganization meeting of the Lawrence Township Council being held on January 1st, 2024 was forwarded to the Ledger, the Time, and the Trentonian on December 28, 2023 by the municipal clerk. A special thank you to the Lawrence Township Police Color Guard for being present this afternoon and bagpiper Matt Gordon. We will now have the inspiration by Reverend Leo L. Sherrod from the senior pastor from Light of the World Church.
Let us pray. Lord, we're thankful for this new year and for these new beginnings. We're grateful for all those who have gathered here today and for all those who have served in the past to get us to where we are. We thank you for our new council members who have been tasked with the responsibility to lead us through this next term. We pray that you would empower them to lead with wisdom, integrity, and humility. Give them the strength to stand for what is right and against what is evil. Use them to represent the needs and concerns of all the people of Lawrence Township. Help them to be mindful of the poor and protect the weak. Give them the courage to build bridges and tear down walls that divide. Help them to be good stewards of the resources entrusted in their care, and use them to continue to build our beloved community into a model for other towns. Grant a spirit of unity among the council members and the residents. Give the council members a heart for the residents, and give the residents a willingness to support them. We ask your blessings over our newly elected council members and their families, and for your continued blessings over our nation, our state, and over all those who live and work in Lawrence Township. We ask these blessings in the name of the Father, the Son, and the Holy Spirit. Amen. Amen.
We will now have the Pledge of Allegiance by Andrew William Hendricks Farmer.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
You can now be seated. We will now have the continuing roll, continuing of the council members. Ms. McLaughlin, Please call the continuing council members.
Mr. Bobbitt,
Here.
Mr. Konecki.
Here.
We will now have the introduction of the council members elect. Patricia Farmer Hendricks. Olympia Ivy Kelly. And John T. Williams. And I'm sorry, I was remiss in saying that these were the results from the November 7th, 2023 general election for these members of council for a four-year term. The oath of office will now be administered to Councilwoman-elect Patricia Hendricks by State Senator Shirley K. Turner.
Thank you.
Happy New Year, everyone, and may this new year bring you health, happiness, and most of all, peace. Raise your right hand, repeat after me. I state your name,
Patricia Hendricks Farmer,
do solemnly swear
do solemnly swear
that I will support the Constitution
that I will support the Constitution
of the United States
of the United States
and the Constitution of
and the Constitution of
the State of New Jersey,
the State of New Jersey,
that I will bear true faith
that I will bear true faith
and allegiance
and allegiance
to the same and to the governments
and to the governments
established
established
in the United States
in the United States
and in this state
and in this state
under the authority
under the authority
of the people,
of the people,
and that I will faithfully,
and that I will faithfully,
impartially,
impartially,
and justly
and justly
perform all the duties
perform all the duties
of council member
of council member
according to the best of my ability.
according to the best of my ability.
So help me God.
So help me God.
Assemblywoman Berlina Reynolds Jackson will now administer the oath of office to Ms. Perry.
Good morning and Happy New Year, everyone. You ready, Martha? I, and state your name,
I, Olympia Iliu Perry,
do solemnly swear
do solemnly swear
that I will support the Constitution of the United States
that I will support the Constitution of the United States
and the Constitution of the State of New Jersey,
and the Constitution of the State of New Jersey,
and that I will bear true faith
and I will bear true faith
and allegiance to the same,
and allegiance to the same,
and to their governments established
and to their governments established
in the United States
in the United States
and in this state
and in this state
under the authority of the people,
under the authority of the people,
and that I will faithfully,
and that I will faithfully
impartially,
and impartially
and justly
and justly
perform all the duties
perform all the duties
of the office of Lawrence Township member
of the office of Lawrence Township member
according to the best of my ability.
according to the best of my ability.
So help me God.
So help me God.
Congratulations.
Assemblyman Anthony Asparelli will now administer the oath of office to Mr. Knight.
Good afternoon, everyone. Please raise your right hand and repeat after me. I state your name.
I, John Ryan,
Do solemnly swear
do solemnly swear
that I will support the Constitution of the United States
that I will support the Constitution of the United States
and the Constitution of the State of New Jersey,
and the Constitution of the State of New Jersey,
that I will bear true faith,
that I will bear true faith
allegiance to the same,
and allegiance to the same,
and to the governments established
and to the governments established
in the United States
in the United States
and in this state,
and in this state,
under the authority of the people,
under the authority of the people,
and that I will faithfully,
and I will faithfully,
impartially, and justly
impartially, and justly
perform all the duties of the office of Lawrence Township Council
perform all the duties of the Lawrence Township Council
according to the best of my ability.
according to the best of my abilities.
So help me God.
So help me God.
All right.
Thank you.
We will now have the election of mayor for a 2-year term ending December 31st, 2025. Are there any nominations?
Madam Chair, I would like to nominate a person that served on this council, served as a previous member to this township, who was always transparent, always open, spoke to a lot of people, guided this township in the right direction. I will nominate Christopher Bobbitt.
Are there any other nominations?
Madam Clerk, I nominate Patricia Hendricks Farmer for our next mayor.
I second. Madam Clerk, I second the nomination.
Are there any other? I declare the nominations closed. We will now have the roll call for Mr. Bobbitt.
Second.
Mr. Bobbitt?
Yes.
Ms.
Ms.
Farmer?
Farmer?
No. Mr. Kaneki?
Yes.
Ms. Perry?
No.
Mr. Ryan?
No.
We will now have the roll call for mayor for Ms. Farmer.
Mr. Bobbitt?
No.
Ms. Farmer? Yes. Mr. Kaneki?
No.
Ms. Perry?
Yes.
Mr. Ryan?
Yes.
Congratulations. Senator Turner will now administer the oath of office to Mayor Farmer.
Raise your right hand. Repeat after me. I state your name.
Patricia Hendricks Farmer,
Do solemnly swear
do solemnly swear
that I will support the Constitution
that I will support the Constitution
of the United States
of the United States
and the Constitution of the State of New Jersey,
and the Constitution of the State of New Jersey,
that I will bear true faith
that I will bear true faith
and allegiance to the same
and allegiance to the same,
and to the governments
and to the governments
established in the United States
established in the United States
and in this state
and in this state,
under the authority of the people,
under the authority of the people,
and that I will faithfully,
and that I will faithfully,
impartially,
impartially,
and justly
and justly
perform all the duties
perform all of the duties
of mayor
of mayor
according to the best of my ability, so help me God.
according to the best of my ability, so help me God.
Then she's gonna say something. So.
Good afternoon and happy New Year. Good afternoon. First and foremost, I want to thank God for allowing me to be here in good health. I want to just give a few thank you to the dignitaries that are here this afternoon. Senator Shirley Turner. Councilwoman Reynolds Johnson. And I know that our county chair is here, Miss Janet Mayoral. And I know that there are many other officials here today, and I don't want to miss anyone on my first so I would like to just say a great thank you to all of the elected officials who are present here today. And if you would stand, that would be awesome. I want to have my family, who are my brothers, my sisters, my cousins, and my friends, if you could also stand as well. And they are the reason why I'm here today. I have a whole lot of other thank yous, but I'll just go very quickly because I am so very thankful and honored that you all have taken the confidence in my leadership to stand here today. And for those who the mic is meant to record, I believe, so I don't know if you can actually hear me well, but I'll continue. I want to thank community leaders like Mr. Fred Vereen. Howard, Elizabeth, Olga, Martha, Steve, Beth, and Kelly, my friends, but Lawrence neighbors together. Democratic Club members and committee, especially Alyssa Strager, who convinced me to run, and to Petitioner for all of her support and guidance and extraordinary leadership. Thank you. I want to thank members of the Everett Crossing Civic League, the Lawrence Township School Board District and Board. There are a few, I believe, here today. And lastly but not least, I want to thank Councilman Bobbitt and Konaki, who I look forward to serving with. Just a little bit about myself. I have that opportunity. I'm a little girl who used to walk every day without sidewalks, and her father, Theodore Hendricks Sr., was an advocate who fought so that children from my community could have a safe walk to school and eventually a school bus. We're still having that conversation today, I know, for walkways for our students in Lawrence. But I am also the young woman whose mother, Angelina Hendricks, came to New Jersey, not speaking English as her first language, but came for a better life. She advocated and fought so that her 7 children could have a quality education. And I, in turn, became the president of the school board of where I attended. So that I could advocate and fight for children in this community, even during one of the most difficult times, a worldwide pandemic. I stand here today as mayor of this great town full of residents that care about democracy, who share more in common with strength in our diverse voices and experiences. We have been elected by the people to govern and represent those voices. We are one Lawrence united by 22 miles at Smile in central New Jersey. My focus and vision for Lawrence as mayor consists of continuing and creating opportunities for our businesses to thrive and grow. As a member of the Growth and Redevelopment Committee, I was educated on the number and the types of businesses, small, large, mom and pop, and someone even asked me, are there farms in Lawrence? I said, yes. Businesses, making them attractive again is my goal. My experience as a school board president gave me insight into the needs of our students, representing 7 schools, and also other areas of learning that included private schools and universities. Education is one of the key aspects that I will continue to fight for in my role as mayor. One of my favorite new contemporary artists, Roberto Lugo, a Puerto Rican artist from Philadelphia, has an exhibit entitled, Put Yourself in the Picture. And that is what I've done today, representing my community, ready to work to use my voice for the betterment of all in Lawrence. Just a little bit more about me. The art saved my life. As a young person, my exposure to dance, the performing and visual arts, bless me, were an outlet for expression. There was no Instagram then. Our community is still healing from the effects of a world pandemic. The arts, I believe, hold a key to our emotional and social wellness, and there is so much to be gained. So arts and culture are also a very important part of my vision for Lawrence. We have a retail corridor of so many businesses and opportunities that Lawrence has to offer. In closing, I just want to say that I look forward again to working with this current council and the community at large. Thank you again for your confidence in my leadership. And now moving along with the agenda.
Point of information, Madam Mayor? Can I ask a question?
Yes, you may.
Is it your intention to read, we have a lot of people here, is it your intention to read all the resolutions in order, or should we move, or was your intention to move them as a block?
Well, I was, Mr. Councilman, I was going to actually ask for a motion, so, to move them. So would you like to make that motion, or?
If I may, but I would like to hear number 39, 41, 42, and 44 separately from the rest, if that's all right?
Absolutely. So that's 39, once again?
39,
Mm-hmm.
41,
Okay,
42,
okay,
and 44, please.
okay.
Thank you. All right, I'll make a motion to move resolutions 1 through 38, 40, and 43 in a block.
Madam Chair,
Councilman, yes.
could you add, item number 43 on that?
So, Madam Mayor, if I may, I will amend my motion to be moving resolutions 1 through 38 and 40 in a block.
38, 38, and 40 in a block.
I second the motion.
Thank you. Okay, Madam Clerk, with a motion and a second, could you please call the roll?
Mr. Bobbitt,
Yes.
Ms. Farmer,
Yes.
Mr. Kanaki,
Yes.
Ms. Perry,
Yes.
Mr. Ryan.
Yes.
Okay. Do you want to call them individually then? Or-
Yes.
Okay. So if we can have a motion for resolution by council number 39.
Madam Mayor, I'll make a motion to move number 39, authorizing appointment of a special counsel for labor relations for a period of January 1, 2024 to February 29, 2024.
Do I have a second?
Second.
Okay, with a motion by Councilman Bobbitt and seconded by Councilman Kanaki. Could we call the roll, please?
Madam Chair, if I may ask a few questions about this resolution. I just was curious why the special counsel for labor relations is only for a 2-month period and not a full year period. Is there any explanation for that?
Yes, because we are a new council and we are reviewing all of our current, we're reviewing that attorney.
Thank you.
Please, you're welcome.
I actually have a question as well.
Yeah, Mr.
Thank you.
Nowinski,
Congratulations.
thank you.
Our labor council, Armando Riccio, has been serving the community for several years now.
Mhm.
He's done an excellent job in all things labor relations, working with our personnel department, with our department heads, as well as myself. He has a lot of institutional knowledge, and he doesn't have much interaction with the members of council at all. So one of the things, I'm happy to see that this resolution is on here, because come tomorrow, we may need to retain him for a matter, and subsequently each day thereafter in this 2-month period. So I wanted to find out is, will the matters that he's retained for during this 2-month period of time, will he continue on, or will there be a potential replacement attorney who's gonna have to start from ground zero again, build the town all over again? And so we have one attorney who sees himself out the door in 2 months, putting us in a poorer position, potentially creating more tax payer liability. So I wanted to see if there was something, a consensus from council with regard to, he's being appointed for 2 months. In those 2 months, any new matters, will he continue on?
Thank you, Mr. Nowinski. Did you want
Mayor?
to address it?
Mayor, may I? Yes.
Sure, you may.
What we'd like to do is, since there's a new council in here, we're reviewing everything for the 60-month on that, and then we'll look into that.
Yeah. Yes, Mr. Nowinski, thank you for your concerns and your comments, and we absolutely will take those into consideration. but we,
So there's nothing I
Like
can
to-
tell Mr. Ricchio in terms of,
not at this time. We will move forward. We will address it. Okay. Madam Clerk, if you could call the roll.
Mr. Bobbitt,
Yes.
Ms. Farmer,
Yes.
Mr. Kanaki,
Yes.
Ms. Perry,
Yes.
Mr. Ryan.
Yes.
Okay. Now we have resolution number 41, authorizing appointment of a special counsel for tax appeals and township litigation for Capone et al., Lawrence Township, for January 1st, 2024 through January 31st, 2024. Do I have a motion?
Madam Mayor, I will make a motion to move number 41, authorizing the appointment of a special counsel for tax appeals and township litigation for Camoni et al. For B Lawrence Township for January 1 to January 1, 2024 to January 1, 2024.
Okay. Do I have a second?
Second.
Thank you. Madam Clerk, if you could please call the roll.
Mr. Bobbitt,
Madam, if I may ask a question.
Oh, do you have a question, Mr. Roberts? Sure.
Yeah, I just wanted to understand again, I think along the lines of the township manager would, sorry, I forgot to turn on the mic. Is the intention of keeping this special counsel for this ongoing litigation, which has gone on for more than a few years now, and that institutional knowledge, is the thought process that we would keep them involved beyond January 31st? I understand that there's a certain sort of paperwork issues that need to be addressed. I was just curious whether
Yeah.
the new council was
Yes.
interested in continuing on.
Councilman Bobbitt, as was mentioned in the last case, it is a similar situation. We are a new council and we are reviewing those services, and we will address it at a next meeting. Thank you.
Thank you.
Okay. Any other questions or, all right, you could call the roll, please.
Mr. Bobbitt,
Yes.
Ms. Farmer,
Yes.
Mr. Kanaki,
Yes.
Ms. Perry,
Yes.
Mr. Ryan.
Yes.
Okay. That brings us to resolution number 42, authorizing the appointment of a township attorney for January 1st, 2024 to January 31st, 2024.
Madam Mayor, I'll make a motion to move number 42, authorizing the appointment of a township attorney for January 1st, 2024 to January 31st, 2024.
Thank you. Do I have a second?
I second.
Okay.
All right, Madam Mayor, may I ask a question?
Sure.
Since we've changed attorneys since last year, I was just wondering for the record, if you could give any insight into the process that occurred for appointing our new council. Now, this is a question about process. This is not a question about Mr. Sipek's credentials at all. I've known Mr. Sipek for many years. So that is, I'm glad to see you there, sir. But at the same time, in the interest of openness and transparency for the residents of Lawrence Township, I need to is there a way that I could understand the financial impacts of switching attorneys from one to another as this happens basically over the last few weeks? And so I'm just trying to, is there any light you can share so that I can make an informed decision?
Mr. Councilman Bobbitt, these are very good points, and I hear you. And we, as a new council, are reviewing our attorneys, and that is another consideration that we will get more information to you at our next meeting. Thank you.
Madam Mayor, may I say that?
Yes.
And in light of the fact that the former attorney's contract was terminating on December 31st, the new council wanted to review and place a person that we felt would be a very great asset to our township. And that's why we have requested Mr. Sipek.
Thank you.
I do have a comment, if you allow me.
Absolutely, Mr. Nowitzki, go ahead.
I third the fact that Mr. Sipek is absolutely qualified to do the position. I've known him for many, many years.
Thank you.
Ms. Perry just said something that just concerns me in the interest of transparency. Mr. Roscoe's, who has served this town for in excess of 20 years in various capacities, received a letter on the letterhead of Mr. Ryan, hand-delivered, that terminated his services effective December 31st, 2023. So if we're talking process and we're talking law, I'm confused as to who empowered the act of Mr. Ryan to terminate the services effective in a calendar year when the majority of council supported Mr. Roscoe's.
Very
And
good
so,
point.
so moving forward, these are things, you know, decisions that are being made recklessly, and it caused the clerk,
Well,
it caused the
we
clerk
don't,
to have
we
to
are
scramble.
not going to have that language here about calling people reckless. Absolutely not. I just swore an oath, and I mean it, to do what is best for the township. And that decision was discussed within council, and you will receive more information. He wasn't terminated, his contract ended,
December 31st.
yeah,
Madam Chair,
yes. Councilman.
my only question to this whole thing is nothing against Art. I worked with him many years here in this township and everything.
Thank you.
I feel he's well qualified. My question to it is, Three's made a decision and never spoke to me or Councilman Bobbitt. We were never invited to the meetings. There was no transparency there. There was no openness there. The Threes decided, yet me and Councilman Bobbitt are still elected officials here. We had no input on this.
Yeah,
None.
absolutely. No decision has been made. We are merely a contract ended, and we chose someone to assist us in the meantime. So you will have, you both, Mr. Councilman Bobbitt and Councilman Konecki, will have an opportunity to govern with us. It's not an isolated situation. This is the first time that we have come together as a body. We are two newly elected council people. So there is no discussion really to have prior to that. We absolutely will be an inclusive council of all 5 members. You have my word on that.
Oh, I trust you. I worked with you many years. and
Okay, so
I
now,
trust you.
so do we have, the motion is on the floor. Is there any other discussion? If we can have the roll call, please, Madam Clerk.
Mr. Bobbitt,
Yes.
Ms. Barner,
Yes.
Mr. Konecki,
Yes,
Perry,
Yes.
Mr. Reiner.
Yes.
Thank you.
Okay. That brings us now to resolution number 43, authorizing a resolution supporting the audio recording of executive closed session meetings of the Lawrence Township Council. Do I have a motion?
I'll make a motion, move number 43, authorizing resolution supporting the audio recording of executive closed session meetings of the Lawrence Township Council.
I second.
Okay. And I would just like to make a comment myself on this. This was something that was of concern to me because executive closed sessions were no longer being recorded. And that is something that is critical to the transparency of what the council does. So I am happy to see that function will continue in the coming year. So thank you. If you could call the roll.
I would like to have him make a comment if you don't mind, just for the record. I want, you guys, you're the voters.
Right.
And I just want to make sure that the entire body fully considers the decision that is being made.
Mhm.
It's going into executive session happens all the time
Yes,
in school boards
Absolutely.
and municipalities.
correct.
It's the one time that the 5 of you can get together and freely discuss your thoughts and your ideas to arrive at the best decisions possible in the end.
Absolutely.
And when you opt to have those sessions, those free thinking sessions to arrive at important decisions that the town has entrusted you all
Mhm.
as elected officials to do, and you memorialize them in an audio that will be requested in open requests,
That's right.
you put the town at a great disadvantage. Just something to consider. Discussions regarding labor negotiations,
Mhm.
discussions regarding litigation, discussions regarding land acquisitions, all will involve your thought processes and your strategies moving forward.
Right.
And you should have every expectation of the 6 unions that we negotiate
Mhm.
contracts with will
Right.
absolutely make the request for these audio recordings to determine what your mindset is and what your strategy is and all of that. And so what it does is should put you all on notice that every word that you say,
Yes.
every thought that you say,
Right.
whether it's just an open-minded, hey guys, let's get to an ultimate decision, you will expose the town to a disadvantage, as if the five of you are a basketball team
Mhm.
and you've elected to put one hand tied behind your back because you're gonna be in hit.
Okay. Thank you, Mr. Nowinski. I understand all of that, and I know, how it works and how it comes, into play when necessary. And it's a practice that had been occurring and abruptly stopped. Is that right?
Yeah, I could tell you that 90% of the municipalities, about 90% of the municipalities do not record for the reasons that I've stated. And now that Mr. Sypek is here, I think it would be a good idea for the attorney to at least provide an opinion, because if we're gonna put ourselves in a disadvantage to freely discuss things, and also expose ourselves to potential liabilities in the future for a comment that somebody on the outside adverse to the township and its needs, I think at least it should deserve a little bit more, maybe a comment from our new attorney in terms of what's the
I
best thing to
think
do.
that, Mr. Nowinski, we can actually table this for now and have a more concrete discussion, but know this, public, that I am of the belief that we should have nothing to hide, that when,
Yeah,
having our discussions, being open or open should not be an issue. If we're doing the right thing.
I agree,
then
and
we should
that's
do it.
absolutely,
So we can table it
Yeah.
for now, because I will respect, your concern and hesitancy to reenact something that I think is very critical to transparency of a public body. So we can wait on that. That is not a
And-
problem.
and
This
just to
is
be very
January
clear, I'm
1st.
not
We have a
looking
long
to-
year ahead of us.
to be very clear, I'm not looking to hide or conceal
Well,
anything.
no,
It's revealing strategies of the
Yeah,
town that may, in the end, work against us. That's
Or could work for us as
Sure,
well. So
sure.
because of your concern, I respect that and
Thank
I'll
you.
review that. And this is our first meeting as a body, and we can table it for now and absolutely look at it again. But if Mr. Sypek would like to make a comment, I open his remarks.
Yeah, just briefly, Mayor and Council, I appreciate the comments of Mr. Nowinski. I'd be happy to provide an opinion by the next regularly scheduled meeting. I think the Open Public Meeting Act is a very specific document, and all executive sessions at some point become public.
That is correct.
And I understand your remarks, but I have to question that 90% of the municipalities do not record them, but I'll be happy to provide an opinion, and we'll do so by or before the next meeting.
Thank you, Mr. Sypek. I appreciate that. Okay, so that now brings us to, we will table that for now. But definitely we are.
You need a motion to table.
If we can have a motion to table number 40, resolution number 43.
I'll make a motion to table the current resolution
Okay.
until.
Should table to a date certain of maybe the next meeting.
Okay, by our next meeting, that sounds good.
Thank you, Mr. Sypek.
Mhm.
I second that motion.
Okay. Madam Clerk, if you could please call the roll.
Mr. Bobbitt?
Yes.
Ms. Farmer?
Yes.
Mr. Kanaki?
Yes.
Ms. Perry?
Yes.
Mr. Ryan?
Yes.
This brings us to our last resolution, authorizing a special meeting of council for January 5th, 2024 at 6 p.m. for the purpose of a closed session to discuss personnel matters and possible formal action may be taken. Do I have a motion?
Mayor, I'll make a motion to move number 44, authorizing a special meeting of council for January 5th, 2024 at 6 p.m. for the purpose of a closed session to discuss personnel matters. Formal action may be taken.
I second it.
Okay, we have a second. Is there a discussion?
Thank you,
Mhm.
Mayor.
Sure.
Sorry for being the.
No, this is good. I'm getting.
I figured kind of exercise, right?
Yeah, democracy at work. Let's go.
not that we can discuss what the actual
Correct.
personnel matter is in this very public
Because
forum.
it is a special.
But I
meeting.
just wanted to ask, you or the rest of the new council, what the reasoning is behind having the urgency of a special meeting this Friday. That's all.
Mayor?
Okay, sure,
Mayor?
Councilman.
It's just that with the new council, I think we're getting up to speed.
Mhm.
And I think, we only have the one meeting on the 16th, and it's, getting up to speed on the new council to have this meeting on the 5th.
Any other comments?
I do have a comment.
Okay, sure.
Um,
Mr. Nowinski.
It says authorizing for the purpose of a closed session to discuss personnel matters.
Yeah.
If personnel matters are going to be discussed, and Mr. Sypek, you could comment on this, there needs to be a rice notice provided to whoever is going to be discussed.
Right.
And that individual employee must be given the opportunity to have it in open session,
That's
in
correct.
closed session,
Correct.
or not appear at all.
Correct.
So for this resolution for the purpose of a closed session seems to be inartfully or maybe too restrictive, because you're denying whoever the employee is their rights law protection in terms of what they decide to do.
Sir, may I?
Yes, Councilman.
Mr. Sypek, I believe it's within 48 hours and within our right.
Yeah, you have 48 hours under the Open Public
Correct.
Meeting Act, and you can notice for a closed session.
Correct.
And Mr. Nowinski is correct, under the provisions of a rice notice, the employee can decide to have that portion of the meeting in public or not show up at all. So there may be a necessity to amend prior to 48 hours of Friday, January 5th, the notice, dependent on the response from the employee, which I assume will go out tomorrow.
Thank you.
So the resolution will say closed session.
Yes. Okay. So if we have a first and a second?
Yeah.
Okay. That was, you got Mr. Bobbitt and Councilor Terry. Okay. All right. If we could call the roll, please.
Mr. Bobbitt,
Abstain.
Ms. Farmer,
Yes.
Mr. Kanaki,
Abstain.
Ms. Perry,
Yes.
Mr. Ryan.
Yes.
This now brings us to the opportunity for public participation. We ask that if you decide to make a comment, you walk to the podium, state your name, and you have, I believe, 5 minutes.
You got to come.
Come to the center.
Center.
Can you please sign it? You just, please, thank you. On the yellow sheet. Thank you very much.
And just state your name.
Good afternoon. My name is Taryn Hendricks, and I am the youngest sibling of Patricia Hendricks and the whole Hendricks clan. And I stand up here just to speak on behalf of my oldest brother, who unfortunately wasn't able to come due to illness. And so I wanted to read just something that he wanted me to read to the general body. Patricia, the village that it takes to support a woman so that she is able to develop and thrive as a human being whose gifts are never squandered, but empoweringly released into and absorbed by her community, has answered the call. Your calling has put you on notice yet again. the community which prepared and loved you awaits. It seeks to be nourished by healthy forces that unite forces that listen, cooperate, debate, and move forward in the best interest of its denizens. The village has done its part and has been discerning in its selection. Education in the Lawrence community with a Catholic foundation and a working knowledge of other faiths, your guide has always been Jesus Christ. Your North Star will encompass steadfastness, truth, fairness, and unwavering commitment to your community. The village has prepared you. Go out there and embrace the opportunity to serve. I know you will. We, your family, friends, and constituents embrace you. God bless.
Good morning. Good morning. My name is Fred Doreen from Eggers Crossing. And I stand here because I like to give history before I become history. And I've worked with Patricia's father through the Civic League and through many community activities. And I like to tell about her father. Her father and mother on a postman's salary with 7 children through college. You're now seeing the results of that. And it goes to show that it doesn't take a whole lot of money. It just takes willpower and family commitment. And Eggers Crossing is the results of what you see today. A little Black community on the other side of the tracks that has not only produced the Hendrick family, but me too. And as we go forward, folks, let peace and love be in our hearts for everyone, not just for our community, but all the communities that are out there suffering, children who are suffering, families that are suffering. We can do better as a community. We can do better as a group. And I think Shirley Turner, be careful because this young lady is right on your heels. And I pray, and I want us all to pray for all the council people that they serve Lawrence Township and be examples of what a community like Lawrence can do for our county and our state and our government.
Seeing no other public comments, we'll close public comments and have closing remarks by council members. Mr. Robert, did you have any?
Oh, yeah, I did.
Okay.
Thank you. Good afternoon. Over the past 2 years, serving on Lawrence Council has changed from a deliberative body working to address the concerns and issues that face our community to reality television theatrics of Survivor with blind sides, plot twists, and hidden alliances. At our last council meeting, members of both the public and council said not to act and wait for January. Too bad 3 members of council chose to ignore that advice and instead decided that 2024 would start off looking more like an episode of The Apprentice, with one councilman acting against Donald Trump by firing, or well, I should say, not reappointing the township attorney. I'm guessing there is more to follow as temporary contracts expire and appointed positions come up for renewal. Before you leave, in the interest of transparency, I should probably explain myself, as my behavior isn't typically what happens at a reorganization meeting in Lawrence. In my 8 years serving on Township Council, I have never felt more distant from some of my council members than I do today. This is due to a lack of communication and an inability to collaboratively work together to solve the issues facing the township. Rather than ask questions of two colleagues with a combined 22 years of experience on council, we were ignored. I should have realized this was going to happen based on how they portrayed themselves during their campaign. One team, one dream. I didn't realize it at the time, but this is their core belief, that they are a team, a new council that is going to clean up town hall, and either I had to buy into what they're doing, or I'm going to be on the losing end of votes like I was today. Yes, one of the first things I learned on council was how to count, but I was taught to count to 3, then work to get to 5, not stop at 3. Over the past few weeks, I felt like it's 2017 all over again. I say to myself, this can't be happening. They can't do this. And then I realize, yes, they can. Might makes right in their eyes. That's politics. Consensus be damned. It is day one, and already there have been 3 times where their campaign promises of being, quote, more transparent in how we exercise our role as elected officials didn't match the behavior of the new council. The first event is something seemingly innocuous, but it was an omen of things to come. As many in the room know, Lawrence puts out a calendar with each month having useful information for the community, along with pictures of all 5 council members at the front. This year's calendar will be late because of a decision by the new council. Councilman Kanaki and I had our pictures taken, but the other 3 told the photographer they were busy. As the publishing deadline rapidly approached, an email was finally sent to an anxious township staff stating, we have decided that until our swearing in on January 1, 2024, the new council will not conduct any official business, including the upcoming 2024 municipal calendar photos or designated statements. One team, one dream, just not Kanaki and Bobbitt. The next troubling event occurred on December 20th, the day after our last meeting of Township Council. That Wednesday morning, unbeknownst to the majority of council at the time, Mayor Ryan hand-delivered a letter to the municipal attorney stating, you will not be reappointed as township attorney by the Township Council at reorganization meeting on January 1, 2024. Your professional services agreements will terminate as of December 31st, 2023. Mayor Ryan then goes on to state, he will be in touch to advise the former attorney who his replacement will be. It was a complete shock and a distressing sign of the hard-nosed politics of getting to 3 with no discussion of the other 2. One team, one dream, just not Kanaki and Bob. The final example is today's resolution authorizing a special meeting of council this Friday at 6 p.m. to discuss in closed session personnel matters. I've asked the mayor if she could share with us what this is about, because as far as I know, council has never had a crisis so grave that a special meeting needed to take place on the first week of the new year on a Friday at 6 p.m. when many residents are starting their weekend. I was told she would tell the council at some point what it was about. I hope so. Otherwise, it's going to be a challenging 2 years if the council does not provide enough background information in a timely manner to make informed decisions for our community. One team, one dream, just not Kanaki and Bobbitt. Before I close, I'd like to recognize township staff, some of whom are here today. Thank you so much for your work over the past 2 years, especially over the past month. I know that they have been difficult. I saw how hard many of you worked during the holiday season so that the municipality would comply with state laws relating to the appointment of the new attorney that were an afterthought to some. I will continue to value your hard work and dedication to our community, as it makes my job so much easier. And it fills me with pride to serve alongside all of you. Today's meeting is historic. And it's surprising that this hasn't come up. Historic in the seating of 2 Black women on Lawrence Township Council, and the swearing in of our first Black councilwoman as mayor. In addition to this marks the first reorganization meeting led by our municipal clerk. Certainly a day to be celebrated, and I hope that time and distance will heal the pain I'm feeling today. On a personal note, these chaotic events of the last 2 months have taken a toll on my health, my relationship with my family, and my professional life. It has been the worst holiday break of my life. So why am I here today? Why not resign? Everyone in this room can count to 3. I'm going to lose. It is because I have taken the same oath that this new council took today. I have a duty to the residents of Lawrence Township and municipal staff to serve my full term. I will continue to show up and serve this community as I have for the past 8 years on council and 11 years before that on township boards and committees, adhering to the solemn oath I took in 2015 to faithfully, impartially, and justly perform all the duties of councilman according to the best of my ability, so help me God. As I continue to serve the residents of this community, it is my hope that this new council remembers the words of inspiration that the municipal clerk reads before we begin every meeting of Township Council. May we carry out our work at this meeting in a just, honorable, and sincere manner, always bearing in mind our duties and continue to keep Lawrence a wonderful community in which to live. Thank you for attending today's meeting. I wish you a happy and healthy new year. Thank you.
Good afternoon, everyone.
Good afternoon.
I am so honored, as Councilman Bobbitt spoke, that Patricia Hendricks Farmer of Latina descent and myself of Haitian descent are being sworn in today, January 1st, which happens to be the Haitian Independence Day. As that strong blood runs through my system, the Haitians were the first to free themselves. It did not come without a cost. It did not come easily, and it did not come without challenges. Local government is the same. And we are honored as a team. Yes, we were one team, one dream, but Mr. Bobbitt left out the most important thing for Lawrence. I am so grateful to his support, Mr. Kanaki's support throughout our campaign. We were so fortunate that we were not running against anyone, but we did not take that for granted. We were out there campaigning for anyone and everyone we could, because we are on this council table to support and represent our community. We are on this table because people have gone before us. I am so thankful to God for his divine guidance, for the strength and guidance of the strong women who supported me. The women of the Mercer Federation of Democratic Women, our Commissioner, Lewis, Alyssa Schrager, Jennifer Keys Maloney, Paula Cavello, these statues of our community. But as the Haitians did, they had to, with their skills, with their ability, do all they could do to free themselves. They did not toe the line, but it's important that we all work together, because we are not here for us, we are here for you. As a young woman who was raised in New York, who came here 22 years ago into this community, embraced by this community, I chose to run for council because I did not like what I was seeing that was happening to our community. Warehouses, dysfunction, arguments. It's important that we do come together. It's important that we work as one unit with the support of our community. We cannot do this alone. And we do not choose to do this alone. On January 5th will be our coming together. We thank all of you for coming out, for taking this time on January 1st to honor us to be here. But we also thank you for your support and for you keeping us accountable, to keep our commitment to you, to keep our commitment to the the oath we just took. But most importantly, to keep our commitment, to keep this community a thriving, growing, transparent place to live, to raise your children. We want to be able to grow this community and have great opportunities for affordable housing, for a walkable path, for a community that comes together on special occasions. The best thing about Lawrence is how different Lawrence is. We're not cookie cutter. We don't look like the other towns in Mercer County, and that is our strength. And you know what the other thing that makes us so strong? We don't have to all agree. How fun would that be? But that's what we embrace. Challenge us. Talk to us. As we look forward to doing the same as council. I can't tell you enough how honored I am to be on this stage. The little girl that used to go to union meetings with my mom, who was a Department of Labor translator in New York, to going to community meetings, to the Women's League. That was the foundation that led to here. I hope someday that my example is a foundation for another young woman. But this historic day, which is full of joy, because this has not happened before. And we don't take that for granted. But the foundation is the strength of these 5 people to serve you. So we will, by God's grace, work it out, duke it out. But we have so many strong people in our county government, local government, that we can lean on for guidance. The best thing about today is our new county executive, Dan Benson, was sworn in this morning at 11 a.m. It is a new beginning for us. So again, I say thank you for having faith in us, for helping us build a collaborative community, and for helping us make the best decisions and make the best, beautiful town for us to live in. God bless you and Happy New Year. All the best for 2024.
Thank you. Good afternoon. I'd like to say sour grapes, but I'm telling you what, this is a joyous occasion to have Mayor Patricia here next and Olympia. This is a joyous occasion up here. I'd like to thank everyone for coming out, even after last night's festivities, to celebrate what is a truly historic day in this town's 326-year history. As I look back on my term as mayor, I can tell you it was quite a term. Every issue, both big and small, comes to your doorsteps, and it's your obligation to figure it out. What is to be done? And I'm proud of the work I've done in this regard. It's a lot of work, and I'm actually happy to pass this baton on to Mayor. I am, and I'm right there by your side. I also like to welcome our new municipal attorney, Arthur Sypak.
Thank you.
Here for your guidance. We look forward to it. Senator Turner, thank you so much. You're always there for us. Assemblywoman Berlina Reynolds Jackson's, Assemblyman Anthony Morelli, the 15, the Fighting 15, all our elected officials that are here. There's so many that are here that do so much for Lawrence. Really want to thank you. I mean, you're here, you're showing your support. Love it. it's great. My family, my wife Linda, the kids are everywhere. They're in Virginia, they're in Pennsylvania. But I am still sore after Christmas because they beat the heck out of me. So my muscles are aching. Also, I'd like to thank my running mates, Councilwoman Olympia Ilu Perry, Mayor Patricia Hendricks Farmer, for not only joining me on the ticket, but also for the camaraderie during the past year. It's been a true effort, and I feel privileged to call them my colleagues and most importantly, my dear friends. This town is in superior hands with these two women up here. Their thoughtfulness, commitment to our community is a gift that they give all to us. And to that, on behalf of Lawrence Township, I thank you. I'd also like, I'm telling you what, I need to drink water on this. This one, and I think you all agree on this. I think she's out there. I'd like to thank Councilwoman McDuff. Is she here?
There's an arm.
Hey, for her time here on councils. She's intelligent, measured, and the strength of character that we all can admire. Katie, your future is limitless, and I am proud to be a small part of what surely will be a storied legacy in your future. Thank you for your confidence, your fellowship, and your professionalism. We will miss you up here, but I know that your career of public service is only just the beginning. And on behalf of Lawrence Township, I want to express our deepest gratitude for your services to all of us. Really appreciate it. Lastly, I want to thank the residents of Lawrence Township for those who reached out, engaged with us, public and in meetings. It's great. The public will always be welcome in this building and at the meetings. After all, we are all still the same in this community. Brings us together today and every day. We are all one family. I appreciate your support, your love. I want to thank everyone and have a happy new year.
Well, I'd like to welcome you, Patricia and Olympia, and John Boy, welcome back. Looking forward to working with you over the next, for me, 2 years. Today is my anniversary of 15 years on this council. And it's the first time for me, as a sad note, that the council did not have a 5-0 vote. We always had 5-0 when a Republican sat on this bench, and I got his vote when I was nominated for mayor, when I was first mayor. But putting all that away, I'm looking forward to working with you. I'm looking forward to seeing where you want to help take us as a team, because that's what we are here. We're a team.
Absolutely.
For the 15 years I've been up here, or 14, I was concerned about the township with everything that was happening here. The township has moved forward. It still has some growing we have to do. So once again, just thank you. I'm not one that speaks a lot, so thank you. Happy New Year, everybody, for coming out. Thank you.
Madam Clerk, did you?
Any New Year's greetings?
Share?
Yes, yes. Congratulations to all of you. And congratulations, Mayor. And I am looking forward to working with you all. Okay?
All right, thank you. Okay. Yes.
I must forgive me for being remiss on thanking, most importantly, my family. My passion for the community does not wane because this is the family, the community that we have grown together, not by blood, but by love. Thank you.
Well, thank you all for a lively first meeting. If I could have a motion for adjournment.
I second.
Motion to adjourn?
Second, okay.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Adjourn. Thank you.